Pursuant to MC and SEBI circular, the AGM is being held through VC/OAVM facility provided by the NSDL without the physical presence of the member at the venue. The venue of the AGM shall be deemed to be the registered office of the company at Mandidip near Bhopal, District Raisen, 462046 MP. Now I request all the directors, group CFO, statutory auditor and statutory auditor to say their name and places from where they are participating. I give over to our chairman, sir.
Please unmute the mic, Ravi.
I am Ravi Jhunjhunwala, Chairman and Managing Director, CEO of the company, and also a member of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee, as well as the Chairman of the CSR and ESG Committee, participating from our head office in Noida. I now request all the other directors and other participants also to kindly introduce themselves one by one.
I'm Riju Jhunjhunwala, the Vice Chairman of HEG Limited, and I'm joining this meeting from my home in New Delhi. I confirm no one else has access to this meeting apart from me. Thank you.
I'm Manish Gulati, Executive Director of HEG Limited, and I'm in HEG's plant in Mandidip near Bhopal. Thank you.
I am Kamal Gupta, and I am joining from Noida.
I am Jayan Davar, Independent Director, joining from Gurgaon.
Good afternoon. I'm Vinita Singhania, Director and member of CSR and ESG Committee and participating from Delhi. Thank you.
I'm Satish Mehta, Chairman Audit Committee and NRC Committee and member of CSR and ESG Committee. I'm based in Jaipur and participating in the meeting from there.
Good afternoon. I'm Shekhar Agarwal, Director and member of the Audit Committee, participating in this meeting from my office in Noida.
Ramni Nirula, Independent Director on the board of the company. I'm participating in this meeting from my residence in New Delhi.
Ketanji.
Ketanji.
सर आप म्यूट है डॉक्टर केतान आप म्यूट है सर सर आप म्यूट है सर यू म्यूट सर केतान साहब
I think now it should come.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm NG Khaitan. I'm an independent director of the company and I'm participating in this meeting from my office at Kolkata.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Om Prakash Ajmera, Group CFO. I'm participating in this meeting from my office in Noida.
Thank you. Tripathi ji.
Good afternoon. I am Ravikant Tripathi, CFO of the company and participating in this meeting from Noida.
Sunny ji, auditor, statutory auditor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Sunny Singh from SCB & Co LLP, the statutory auditor. I am participating from Noida in our office.
Statutory auditor.
Let's go on. I mean, he can.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have been unmuted right now. I am Sakesh Sharma, Secretarial Auditor and appointed as scrutinizer of this AGM, participating from Kanpur.
Thank you. Now, pursuant to compliance of provision of the Companies Act 2013, Secretarial Standard 2 and SEBI LODR, the remote e-voting facility was provided by the company for the shareholders started from Saturday, 16th August 2025 and ended on Tuesday, 19th August 2025. The company is also providing e-voting facility during the proceeding of AGM to enable the members to vote, to give their vote who have not done through the remote e-voting. Members may note that all the documents referred to in the notice and explanatory statement shall be available for inspection during the annual general meeting. The statutory register of directors and KMP and their share contained under section 170 of the Companies Act and the register of contract in which directors are interested under section 189 of that shall be available for inspection during the AGM. Members may note that pursuant to provision of articles of association of the company, our chairman shall preside at the every general meeting. Now I request our chairman to kindly chair the proceeding of the meeting. Over to chairman, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to everyone present today at the 53rd annual general meeting of your company. I hope you and your loved ones are all well and safe. Since the requisite quorum is present, I declare the meeting as open. Shri Sandeep Somani and Shri P.S. Dasgupta, the two directors, have conveyed their inability to attend the meeting due to their engagements and have sent good wishes, greetings to all the directors and KMPs and members present. Friends, it is with great pleasure that I address you today, reflecting on the journey of growth and learning that we have undertaken over the past year. This address holds a special place in my heart as it is more than a report of our financial performance. In fact, it allows me to attempt to express my passion for what I believe will unfold over the next 3 to 5 years. Fiscal year 2025 represented a significant milestone for our company as we reinforced our position within the challenging graphite electrode sector. Our business is intrinsically linked to the steel industry, and particularly in relation to the steel manufactured via electric arc furnaces, which is predominant in Western world and Middle East. Steel production exhibited subdued performance throughout the year, particularly in our focus regions, attributable to intense human conflict and various geopolitical challenges, which shifted the focus from development initiatives to de-risking measures. The other important factor that impacted the global steel sector was the substantial surge in steel production and exports by China. The development intensified competition in international markets, pressured global prices, and amplified challenges for producers in other regions, struggling with tepid domestic demand. As a result, the graphite electrode sector endured significant headwinds regarding offtakes and margins. We were no strangers to this global trend. We too reported a dip in our financial performance. Revenue from operations dropped from rupees 2,395 crores in FY24 to rupees 2,153 crores in financial year 25. Likewise, EBITDA declined from rupees 526 crores to rupees 380 crores, and net profit declined from 232 crores to 101 crores in the same period. Notwithstanding the subdued numbers, I am pleased with our overall performance. We approached the subdued trend with poise and confidence. While most of our peers in the industry operated at 60 to 65% capacity utilization, we were able to maintain our operation level at 80%, even on our expanded capacity from 80,000 to 100,000 tons. We believe we are amongst the lowest cost producer of the graphite electrode product globally, and we believe we have further strengthened this position as we now operate the single largest plant of graphite electrodes in the Western world with a capacity of 100,000 tons. Despite short-term pressures, decarbonization is now an irreversible trend in the entire world. Steel produced through electric arc furnace emits around 1/4 of carbon versus the same steel produced through the blast furnace route. With most of the world putting more and more focus on environment and reduction of carbon, we remain optimistic about the long-term growth potential of the graphite electrode demand. According to World Steel Association, electric arc furnace steel production without China rose from about 44% to 50% between 2015 and 2024 in the entire world. With more and more electric arc furnaces being installed, this is likely to rise at an accelerated phase as the decarbonization push intensifies. An analysis of global steel sector shows that approximately 50 million tons of new greenfield electric arc furnaces are likely to be operational in the next few years between now and end of 2027-28, while about 10 million tons of new electric arc furnace capacities has already been in operations in the last 12 to 18 months. From several other announcements made by some of the large steel companies, another 30 to 40 million tons of electric arc furnaces are also likely to be installed post 2028. All this augurs well for our supplies, for our company. Reduced supplies. Worldwide capacity of graphite electrodes has seen a decline over the course of past 12 to 18 months. There have been 4 plant closures and another 4 plants have reduced their capacities in the Western world, resulting in a cumulative capacity reduction of about 120,000 tons. This accounts for approximately 16 to 18% of the global steel capacity, excluding China and Russia. The anticipated imbalance in the graphite electrode sector, characterized by increasing demand alongside decreasing supply, bodes well for our industry prospects in medium to long term. I'm pleased to state that HEG is poised to capitalize on the positive trend likely to unfold over the coming years. My optimism stems from our resilience and readiness for whatever lies ahead. In our 5-decade journey, we have experienced and endured multiple sectoral cycles, each enriching our knowledge and enhancing our strength to endure. Even when others were pushed to the brink of closure, we not only prevailed, but also strengthened our growth levers. We scaled up our capacities, improved our product quality, reduced costs, fostered relationship with our customers, and widened our reach. Today, our resilience resides within our team, which is prepared for every possible eventuality, opportunity, as well as challenges for future growth. We have a fairly strong presence in most of the electric arc furnace steel companies worldwide, small or big. Exports have accounted for between 65 to 70% of our total sales for a number of years now. Over the past few years, we have kept expanding our capacities to meet the expected future demand, and we are currently fully ready for a rebound in performance with a sectoral trend reversal. And a couple of words about our new vertical. Our graphite anode plant has gained momentum. We possess the requisite land parcel and relevant site permissions. The groundwork has commenced. We have finalized most of the machinery and orders will be placed within the current year. The project, which is likely to cost about 1,850 crores, financed through debt and equity balance, is expected to be operational by 2027. Another opportunity, currently anode powder, a critical material for lithium-ion production of batteries, is entirely imported currently from China. Credible research indicates that India's domestic demand for anode powder is projected to reach between 100,000 to 140,000 annually by 2030, driven by the scaling up of local cell manufacturing. With commercial operations in place, we'll be well positioned to capture a large share of this growing market and contribute to the development of a localized, resilient battery supply chain. We possess some significant advantages in this business space. Our team, technology, and processes are well established. Our research and development efforts spanning over 2 decades, along with our power plant, have enabled us to stabilize our process for producing high-quality products. Most significantly, our presence in India allows us to manage costs effectively, facilitating a seamless entry into the global market. In the initial phase, we intend to establish a capacity of 20,000 tons per annum, with the potential to double it within the next 4 to 5 years, considering the prevailing economic conditions and the sectoral dynamics. Our restructuring. The board had approved the scheme of arrangement under which the graphite business will be transferred to HEG Graphite Limited, which will also be listed on the stock exchanges. The anode business will remain under HEG Limited. We filed the application with the stock exchanges. This restructuring will be completed in the current year. HEG Limited and HEG Graphite Limited will chart their independent paths as 2 distinct publicly listed companies. Given their fundamentally strong growth drivers, risk profiles, and capital needs, this strategic demerger enables each business, graphite and green energy, to focus on its unique strengths. It unlocks value by allowing dedicated management, sharper strategic focus, and better capital allocation. This marks a significant step in our sustainability journey and positions both the companies for agile, competitive growth. Shareholders will benefit from owning shares in 2 specialized companies, each with enhanced investment potential and long-term value creation opportunities. We believe this is the right move for our company, our employees, and our shareholders, and we look forward to the future. It will create for both the businesses. In conclusion, the coming years instill a sense of optimism within us. Our robust foundation adequately positions us to capitalize on forthcoming opportunities. As we persist in adapting to market demands, we remain confident in our capacity to generate enduring value for our shareholders and positively contribute to the decarbonization of the steel sector. As we chart our course for the future, I express my deepest gratitude to growing HEG family and our valued stakeholders. Your unwavering support and commitments have always been the bedrock of our success. Thank you. Notice of AGM dated 19th May 2025, report of Board of Directors and the financial statements for the financial year 24-25 are all taken as read, as the same have already been sent to the members. There were no qualifications in the auditor's report and the report of secretarial auditor of the company, and accordingly, they were not required to be read. The company has received requests from a few members to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor is now open for these members to ask questions and express their views. Speaker shareholders are requested to kindly limit their speech to a minimum of 2 to 3 minutes. Members can also post their views or questions through the chat box facility. If any member faces any technical issue, kindly contact our helpline numbers of NSDL as provided in the notice of AGM. Members are requested to keep their questions brief and specific. The company does reserve the right to restrict the number of questions and number of speakers as appropriate for smooth conduct of this AGM. Friends, I would now like to highlight to the speakers that when I take your name, your mic will be opened by the moderator of this meeting. You'll have to also unmute your mic from your end and express your views or ask questions. I now invite Shri Rohit P. Prakash, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are, Mr. Rohit.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. First, thank you for a very nice annual report and very elaborate conference calls. It's always a pleasure and educational to go through them. I have broadly three questions. So, um, if I go back in time and see our expansions, whenever we've done one major one starting around 9-10, right after the cycle, that boom cycle ended. Then we did in 19, right after the previous boom cycle ended. And now we are having a third capacity expansion now. So I'm setting the context to understand how sure we are of the upcycle going forward. Because the previous both times when we did the capacity expansion or initiated it, the cycle turned downwards. After 2009-10, after 2018-19, when we initiated, the cycle turned downwards. So how sure are we of the the growth in the industry going forward from here? Just a follow-up to this is, even in the last cycle in 21-22, we were confident of an upcycle with, we shared details in conference calls of about how capacities are coming up in Europe and US. And hence we are well positioned. But the cycle never picked up because of China and other factors. So in that context, given the amount of money we are putting behind our insight that the capacity is going up, both in GrafTech and in the capacity expansion, it will be helpful if you can elaborate further. The second question here is capacity coming up is not equivalent to electrode demand increasing, right? Because what can happen is China can again dump steel later on, and the excess capacity that is coming up might not be fulfilled. So capacity coming up is one thing. We can be reasonably be sure of it coming in the next 2-3 years. But how do we get a confidence that that capacity will be filled, right? That is the second question. So the third question is, in electric arc furnace globally, what is the capacity X of China and what is the capacity utilization today? And what capacity utilization helps us? I mean, if it's 60, 65, what helps us to perform really well in terms of capacity utilization as well as pricing increase? That was my third question. On GrafTech, we took the direct equity route. Did we think of buying the bonds, which were trading at 60 to 70 cents on the dollar, which gives us an upside if things work out? And if it doesn't work out, we do get access to that plant in the West. With all these tariffs coming, that might have been helpful. So we sort of protect the downside, because if we have bonds, we get access to the asset if the equity holders are wiped out. So that was the question on GrafTech. And my last question is on demerger. How sure are we on timelines? I might be wrong on my data, but I believe the initial valuation that was given to the green tech was different. And when the capital was raised recently through Singularity, the valuation probably changed. So if I remember correct, I'm not sure, but I thought it was 3,000. It was revised down to 2,200 or 2,600. So, so how sure are we of the timelines? When do we expect the demerger to happen, and when do we expect the green tech to be listed? And the last question on the anode itself is, how difficult is it for somebody to reach where we have reached today? In the sense, is it research? Is it the equation with the partners that we have already built? Is it the pilot plant that we have built? So what stops anybody else from doing what we are today? Is it going to be a global commodity, and hence we are like we see in graphite electrode, or does it have a more local flavor in terms of pricing and demand? Those are the questions from my end. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.
Rohitji, I think you have covered all the future questions. Okay, I'll try to answer as many as possible, as clearly as possible. You fortunately alluded to two cycles of 2011-12 and then 2021 when we expanded. Now it was unfortunate timing, but in retrospect, I mean it was good that we expanded at that moment when nobody else was expanding. So going back to our expansion in 11-12. This was the period when we had taken a decision, and this 9/11 in New York happened, and the Lehman Brothers happened. So these two unfortunate incidents which happened in US totally changed the face of the country, face of the world, let's say. So everything went into a different direction. So it was unfortunate that the timing of our expansion was such that that these two very major things happened in 11-12 and 9-10, 11-12, something like that. And similarly, the next expansion that we announced and completed, it more or less coincided with COVID. So these two last expansions, the decisions were taken when the world was very bullish, everything was looking very hunky-dory. and these things which happened, I mean, nobody could have predicted. But in retrospect, we think that it was good that we expanded at that time when nobody else was expanding. And what happened post Lehman Brothers and post 9/11, and what happened immediately after COVID gave us a lot of advantage because others had not expanded. In fact, in the last 2-3 years after COVID, a couple of small plants and very old plants in the Western world meaning we are talking about Western Europe, US, and Japan. The entire graphite industry is concentrated in these 3 areas plus India. So it happened at a time that we expanded when the market was collapsing for different reasons as we spoke. So while we were ready with our expansion, with additional capacities and everything, as soon as the market stabilized after 1 year of COVID or 1 year of 9/11 and 1 year of what happened in 10/11, Lehman Brothers and all. So timing-wise, of course, I mean, it would have been better if we had deferred this expansion by a year and a half in both the occasions, but obviously there was nobody who could forecast these kinds of incidents. And as I said, with the capacity increased, despite that, our capacity utilization, which has been in the region of 65% last year, despite an expansion from 80,000 to 100,000 tons in the last 12 months, obviously means that we took the right decision. We were ready with the expanded capacity at the right time. If we had not expanded, I would be telling you our capacity utilization was 80%. But with expansion, we were at 65% when everybody else was in the region of 50, 55. We were still producing more and selling more. So which tells you that our product is as good as anybody else's, and our reach in 30, 35 countries is fairly strong, and we have spent a lot of time and efforts in the last 20 years. So in retrospect, we are not unhappy that we did what we did. So things were late by year and a half, 2 years, but at the end, our capacity expansions helped us to sell more, to make more profits. And I'm repeating that our capacity utilization is amongst the highest in the industry. Now, we have recently announced another expansion because at a small cost, we can expand by another 15,000 tons. Now, we can again talk about something which is totally uncertain, totally unforeseen about the Trump, about the duties and everything that we are talking about, the tariffs that we are talking about. But as I mentioned a couple of times in my opening remarks, we believe that we are the lowest cost producer of this product in the world, and our product quality is as good as anybody else. So we will keep expanding. We took the decision about 2-3 months ago, not knowing about this tariff and all. So we are continuing to expand, and as you know, even a small expansion from 100 to 115, we've already announced that it is a 2.5 to 3 year process. Most of the equipments come from Germany, France, Japan, and all these countries. So it takes a long gestation time. So we believe whatever happens with tariff, positive, negative, we have enough time in hand. I mean, we are not ready with our expanded capacity for the next 2.5 to 3 years. So for the time being, we are not thinking, giving a second thought. We are going to go ahead. Now, there is no plant access to GrafTech. I mean, as we have announced in the past, we decided to acquire some stake in GrafTech, not with the intent of doing anything else, but it's a purely treasury investment. As I alluded in my opening remarks, we think that in the backdrop where more than 40-50 million tons of electric arc furnaces are coming in the next 2-3 years, and another 40-50 million tons are coming between 2028 and 2030, the demand for electrode is going to go up by 125 to 150,000 tons. What we are expanding is only 15,000 tons. And as I also mentioned, in the last 2-3 years, another capacity, there are 3 or 4 different plants in different parts of the world which have reduced capacities. So we are taking a long-term view, and we are going ahead with our expansion. Now, I'll ask Riju or if Puneet is on the line to answer your questions about demerger timeline and anode demand and things like that. So Riju.
Thank you. I think, Puneet, if you can go through the exact time frame and the valuation that we are talking about, if you can just specifically talk about that, then I can take up the timing of the demerger, then I can take up the anode question adequately. Puneet, if you can.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, on the timeline of the demerger, so our application is pending with SEBI, and we expect by next 45 days we'll get the approval from SEBI for filing our application to NCLT. From timeline perspective, we expect by December, January, we should get the NCLT approval, and the listing will take another 2 months beyond that. So, around March of 26, the company will get listed and all the shareholders will get the new shares of HEG Graphite Limited. On the other question on the valuation part, I just want to give a brief. When the scheme was announced in May 24, the valuation of BEL and this company was around 2134 crores, 2134 crores. In March 25, what we did, there was an investor who wants to come up and they have infused 500 crores in this entity. The valuation for that was increased by 10%, and we actually took the preferential allotment at 2351 crores. So there is no downside on the valuation. The valuation actually has increased. So the platform which we envisaged in May 24, when the board first gave the approval, the valuation for it was in consolidated basis on 3261 crores. Now it is roughly around 4,000 crores.
Thank you, Puneet. And just to answer the question on anode specifically, like the chairman mentioned that we are putting up a 20,000 tons per annum plant. This is near Indore. And there are 2 significant reasons why we believe that we have a right to win in this particular industry. A, the demand for lithium-ion cells will start to come into India for when the plants of the the lithium-ion cell companies come up. And at a very pessimistic end, you can expect a demand of around 100,000 tons. And an optimistic demand of 140,000 tons purely on the India story. Now going overall in the world, I mean, China controls almost 90% of the world's anode production. And what we are seeing now is that almost every company, large battery companies which are operating in Europe, USA, etc., they all want anode materials, even if it is just 5% or 7% of their entire from countries outside of China. And what gives us a significant right to win over here is that, I mean, our capital cost is very, very competitive to a new anode plant. Our power prices, which is one of the major concerns in this, is at a very low price that we've negotiated with the Madhya Pradesh government. And like Chairman had mentioned in the beginning, that there are 2 very good factors that really favor us over here. Number one is the graphitizing of the anode powder from carbon to graphite, which is done in cubicles and in large Atchison furnaces, which HEG has been operating for the last 50 years. So that technology, I mean, yeah, when you talk about, that is the number one right to win as far as we are concerned. Your pointed question was that, why can't someone else do exactly the same thing? Yes, I mean, anyone else can also do the same thing, just like anyone else can do the graphite electrode or any other business. But the learning curve for them will be far, far higher than for us because we have the access to the raw material and we have access to the graphitizing technology. Now, you also spoke about the pilot plant. I think that's a very good decision we took on time. And for the last 12 months, we've got a pilot plant, which is a replica of the main plant that will be coming. And we've already started sampling with more than 15 to 20 customers with different mixes of raw material. And there's just a slight difference between, let's say, the way you sell graphite electrode as a product to a steel company compared to this, because over here the selling cycle is slightly lower, higher. You will take approximately 12 months to break into any other company because they'll have to change their entire cell chemistry. But once your product is approved by a renowned cell company, then these are long-term orders. And prices, of course, I mean, it's all based on global pricing, but we have modeled our particular project based on conservative estimates that even if tomorrow there was no duty differential between India and China, which of course will be there once this product, when cells start getting made in India, then we'll start seeing some significant advantages of that. So, like Chairman said, I mean, we are starting with 20,000 tons with an expectation of the demand being 100,000 tons by 2030. We do believe that we will be the first big commercial plant of its kind that will start in India by the middle of 2027. And then, of course, the focus thereon would be to stabilize the plant and quickly try to do double the capacity to at least 40 to 50,000 tons, for which we have the space already by the year 2030. So that's the kind of a broad update on the anode project.
All right. So I now invite Shri Manoj Kumar Gupta, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
Hello.
हाँ
Hello.
मनोज जी बोलिए. हाँ मनोज जी, we can hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, respected Chairman, Board of Directors, fellow shareholders. My name is Manoj Kumar Gupta. I've joined this meeting from my residence city of Joy, Kolkata. I feel proud to be a shareholder of Heg Limited. So first of all, I thanks to you and your team for the excellent result of the company for the year 24-25. And I thanks to the ED Executive Director also to support you to run the company smoothly. And thanks to the company secretary and this team to help us to join this meeting through VC. Sir, thanks to you and board and executive director to run the company in a right direction to return to the employees and investors. And thanks to you, sir, you have not left है. सर आपने कुछ छोड़ा ही नहीं. बैलेंस शीट जिसने बनाई है ना, उसने पूरा अपना दिमाग लगाया है कि उसने शेयर होल्डर के लिए कुछ छोड़ा नहीं कि शेयर होल्डर कुछ पूछ सके, क्योंकि उसने सब प्रेजेंट और फ्यूचर सब कवर कर लिया. तो मेरी आपसे बोर्ड से रिक्वेस्ट है कि कुछ एक दो पॉइंट तो शेयर होल्डर के लिए छोड़िए, जिससे हम लोग आपसे कुछ पूछ सके, क्योंकि आपने बैलेंस शीट इतनी अच्छे तरीके से बनाई है कि उस आदमी को, जिस व्यक्ति ने ये बैलेंस शीट बनाई और शेयर होल्डरों को दी है, कंपनी सेक्रेटरी और उनकी टीम को कम से कम धन्यवाद हम लोगों की तरफ से दीजिए कि उन्होंने पूरा जो ना ऐसा बना दिया कि लोग ये तीसरी कल मैंने अल्ट्राटेक में कुमार बाबू से भी कहा कि सर कुछ तो छोड़िए पूछने के लिए, तो वो भी बोले कि अच्छा नेक्स्ट ईयर देखेंगे कि क्या छोड़े क्या रखें. सर अभी आप मिस्टर रिजू झुंझुनवाला ने भी बहुत अच्छा कवर किया. सर लेथम जो प्रोजेक्ट है वो बहुत रिनाउंड प्रोजेक्ट है our country में. Sir, what will be the total cost of that project and which technology we will use, China or other country, because China is the world leader in the lithium project. So how we and Demerger, he has covered already that by 2020, but he has said by March 2026. I don't think that before June 26, the company will be listed because NCLT will take much time to approve the scheme of demerger. After got the approval of the shareholder, the NCLT takes so much time. But anyway, I wish to God that his vision should success by March 2026. The company should list in the stock market. And sir, continue the VC meeting that you are fulfilling the vision of our Prime Minister to inspire the digitalization that you are in the Noida, we are in Calcutta, we can talk to you and we can see you. But unfortunately, we could not meet you. But try to consider, I cordially invite you to come to this city of joy, Calcutta, to take a blessings of Ma Kali, to get more success in future, to take the company on new heights. Because your every company is inspiring and running very smoothly, either Mal Overseas, BSL. So make a plan. And sir, is there any direct or indirect impact will come geopolitical tension? On recently, you have mentioned about the tariff and the duty. So we should wait for next 1 month what will be happen for the Trump impact on the country, because our government is also waiting. With this, I strongly support all these resolutions. Once again, I thanks to your company secretary and his team for excellent and nice balancing to us. And it would be my pleasure to meet you if you allow me to meet you in my next visit to Delhi, sir. Thank you.
जरूर जी, जरूर मिलेंगे आपसे. Thank you. I now invite Ms. Celestine Elizabeth Mascarenhas, who has registered herself as a speaker, to express her views and ask questions.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Respected Chairman, Mr. R. Junjunwala, other members of the board, my dear fellow shareholders, I am Mrs. C. Mascarenhas speaking from Mumbai. First of all, I thank the company's secretary and the secretarial team for sending me e-annual report and also registering me as a speaker and giving me this platform to speak. Now, annual report is full of information, facts and figures, self-explanatory, adhering to all the norms of corporate governance. Our secretarial team is very good. And I have to say a special thank you to Mr. Jain. I had some 2-3 years, every AGM I would tell my aunt was having some shares in and they were misplaced. And the MCS would never give any help. But our staff and the secretarial department, especially Mr. Jain, he helped me in sorting all that. Whatever requirements I did for my aunt, she is very elderly, 85 years, and anyhow the shares got credited to the account. I'm very grateful to the secretarial entire team. Now I come to the annual report full of information, facts and figures, self-explanatory, adhering to all the norms of corporate governance. Working is good, everything.
In the interest of time, Ms. Celestine, can
now,
you come to
as
the question?
I'm not going to ask questions, sir, because I heard the answers of the first speaker, which it has covered up everything. So I cannot just now ask anything because everything you have answered in toto. So about the new plan, capex, expansion, etc., etc. Only here I will ask about ESG rating and what you have done and who is a main competitor in India and international. That much only is my questions. With this, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak, and I wish you and the entire team very good health, as health is wealth. Thank you so much.
So which part of the business are you talking about when you're talking about competition?
Rating. What is there, no? That who is the main competitor in India? I know some adore and all, but I'm not very sure. And international. So, and I asked about ESG.
In India, we have Graphite India, who is in your city, in Calcutta, near Calcutta. Internationally, there is a large company in US, and there are 2 mid-sized companies in Japan. So we basically there are only 5 people in the world who produce the right kind of electrodes. There are 2 of us in India, 1 in Japan, 1 in Europe, and 1 in US.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So I now invite Shri Gautam Nandi, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Nandi, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Very good noon and namaskar.
Namaskar.
Respected Chairman, Board of Directors, my online fellow shareholders. Myself, Gautam Nandi from Kolkata, very old equity shareholder of your company. Sir, firstly, I'd like to give thanks to your secretarial department for sending me annual
Mr.
report.
Nandi, can we keep it short? I mean, if you just
Yeah.
come to the
I'm just okay, sir. Sir, I'd like to know what is your roadmap for the next 3 to 4 years, especially related to the growth of our company. Sir, what is the safety measures taken by our company for your different factories and your other premises? Sir, definitely you have adopted the AI technology in your company. If so, how this new technology is helping our company for further modernization? Sir, please continue this busy meeting in future as we may able to join from anywhere, sir. Sir, our company is a premier company of LNG Bhilwara Group and you are the leading graphite electrode manufacturer. But sir, in your sector, there is a huge competition. Please tell me, how are you able to manage this tough competition and you are yielding the fantastic result to our minority shareholders? Sir, I am very pleased to know that you have a huge expansion program which will be implemented in very near future. So thanks again, sir. In this market scenario, you have a great expansion program. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, I am very pleased and very happy to be a shareholder of your company. I have full trust with our strong management like you, sir. And so, along with my family, wholeheartedly support your all resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. Nandi. Mr. Manoj.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. I now invite Shri Chetan Chadda, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions. Mr. Chetan Chadda.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much to giving me the chance to speak with you. Myself, Chetan Chadda, and I'm joining this AGM from New Delhi at home. सर, पहले तो मैं सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट का धन्यवाद करूंगा जिन्होंने मुझे आपके जुड़ने का मौका दिया. सर, वैसे तो सारी की सारी क्वेरीज जो है आपने अपनी अच्छी स्पीच के अंदर ही सबको रिजॉल्व कर दिए हैं और फर्स्ट स्पीकर ने भी काफ़ी सारे सवालों के जवाब दे दिए हैं ऑन टाइमली. आपने उनका काफ़ी अच्छे से स्पेसिफिकली दिया है. सर, सिर्फ हमें एक ही क्वेश्चन अभी रह रहता है कि आप शेयर होल्डर की वैल्यू को क्रिएशन को बढ़ाने के लिए हम और नए क्या कदम उठाने जा रहे हैं, इसके बारे में थोड़ा जरूर डिटेल में बताएं. थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच.
इतना सब कुछ आपने अभी सुना वो शेयर होल्डर वैल्यू के लिए हो रहा है जी, चाहे वो ग्रेफाइट में हो, चाहे एनोड पाउडर में हो, चाहे जो भी हम कर रहे हैं अभी अगले 4-5 साल का रोड मैप तो आपके सामने है ही. So I now invite Shri Vinod Motilal Agarwal, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
I'm unmuted, sir. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Vinod ji.
Respected Chairman Ravi Jhunjhunwala ji and Company Secretary Vivek Chaudhary ji. Good afternoon and regards, sir. Sir, the questions which were asked by Rohit in the first speaker were very good. My questions also were on the lines of the world is going to be having incremental demand by 150,000 to 2 lakh tons of graphite, as mentioned in the annual report. And was on that only that what capacity utilization would be needing further capacity. We've got 1 lakh ton, but you already answered that we are adding 15,000 tons. So my answer has already come, sir. And anode and business also you are doing well. My only other question remains is, per ton of EAF steel manufacturing, how much of our graphite goes into it, sir? In kilo terms or quintal terms or ton wise for making of 1 ton of steel, how much of graphite would go into in an electric arc furnace, sir? This is my question, sir. Thanking you. Signing off, sir. Vinod Agarwal.
Well, it's a very simple answer, Agarwal ji. वो करीब 1.5 से 2 किलो लगता है. पर टन ऑफ स्टील ग्रेफाइट की रिक्वायरमेंट करीब 1.5 से 2 किलो की होती है.
Okay. थैंक यू सर।
1 मिलियन टन का यदि कोई स्टील प्लांट है तो उसमें $1000 से $1200 टन साल का इलेक्ट्रोड लगेगा।
और अपना अभी इंडिया में 50 मिलियन टन आप बता रहे हैं आने वाला भाई
वर्ल्ड की बात कर रहे हैं, हम इंडिया की नहीं बात कर रहे हैं। कोई भी फिगर जो अभी हमने बात की वो सारे वर्ल्ड की बात कर रहे हैं, इंडिया की नहीं कर रहे हैं हम।
ओके जी सर, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you. I now invite Shri Narendra Kumar Ambalal, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
The speaker shareholder is not connected. We can move to the next speaker.
So I now invite Shri Ankur Chanda, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. Sir, I just want to say that our corporate governance is too good. तो सर इसलिए कोई दिक्कत तो है नहीं। मैं एक छोटा मोटा क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूँगा। Is there any effect of geopolitical issues on our company? And second one is, what is the effect of Trump tariff on our company? बस यही दो जानना चाहूँगा। बाकी तो सब आप बढ़िया कर रहे हैं, कोई दिक्कत
नहीं। अब देखिए, जो भी जियोपॉलिटिकल इफेक्ट सब पर होएगा, चाहे आप इंडिया में हो चाहे कहीं भी किसी भी कंट्री में हो, जो भी उथल पुथल हो रहा है इससे आप अछूते तो नहीं रह सकते हैं। और स्पेशली हमारी कंपनी के लिए जो 70% एक्सपोर्ट कर रही है, तो कहीं भी कुछ भी होगा तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ न कुछ इम्पैक्ट तो आएगा ही।
Okay, and what about Trump tariff, sir?
देखिए, ट्रम्प की टैरिफ जो है वो तो है ही, पहले 25 थी अब 50 हो गई। अब वो क्या होगी अगले 1-2-3 महीने में, बट हमने एक लॉन्ग टर्म व्यू लेके डिसीजन लिया है एक्सपेंशन करने का, क्योंकि हमको तो 65-70% एक्सपोर्ट करना है जो इतने सालों से कर रहे हैं। तो अब उस समय तक क्या होगा नहीं होगा, क्या ड्यूटी रहेगी, नोबडी कैन प्रेडिक्ट 3 years लेटर। ये हमारा जो एक्सपेंशन है 2.5-3 साल के बाद लगेगा, तो उसको डेफर करना या उसको जल्दी करना हमारे हाथ की बात है ही नहीं हो। तो अब जो उस समय जो होगा सो होगा, बट वी आर एक्सपोर्टिंग टू मोर देन 25-30 कंट्रीज। यदि कुछ अमेरिका में कम होगा तो कुछ दूसरी जगह बढ़ जाएगा।
Thank you.
So I now invite Shri Sudipto Chakravarti, who has registered himself as a speaker, to express his views and ask questions.
Sir, you are
Very
unmuted.
good
Go
noon,
ahead.
sir. I am Sudipto Chakraborty, attending VC from Kolkata, a small shareholder of Heg Limited. Sir, at first I congratulate my company secretary, my board of directors, and my fellow shareholder to give me a chance to speak something in this platform. Sir, I believe my company is in strong hand and it will perform better to better in coming future. For our directors' honesty, dedication, devotion, and determination. When my company was in trouble, then also our company think for minority shareholder and always try to give us a handsome dividend. It's our pleasure to be a part of this prestigious company. Sir, my first question is, how would you implement green energy in your business? And second question is, how would you implement AI technology in your business? Sir, Indrani Chakraborty also applied for speaker last one, but her name is missing. Please give her chance just for 1 minute from this mic. Thank you, sir, for patient sharing. Best of luck for next year.
Hello, sir. Good noon. I am Indrani Chakraborty, attending VC from Kolkata, a small shareholder of your company. At first, I congratulate my company secretary, board of directors, and my fellow shareholder to give me a chance in this platform. I casted vote along with my family member in favor of you in this AGM. I believe my company will perform better to better in coming future. Best of luck to my board of directors. Sir, my question is, how many female staff in your company?
I won't be able to give you that number. Manish, do you have that number?
Yeah, among these executives, Mrs. Indrani ji, we have about 8% workforce on the executives, and because we are a hardcore manufacturing industry, on the shop floor, normally we won't have females, but on the contracting side, if we look at how many people are contracted for material lifting, this, that, so that is a very sizable number. That can go up to another 15%, but I can, for our executives, officers, so that percentage is today 8%, and we are going to increase it gradually to 10%. That is our plan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the shareholders, for asking very insightful questions on this virtual AGM. Now I'd like to take up items as set out in the notice convening the meeting. Members may note that e-voting module for voting during AGM is active now. The first item for your consideration is to receive, consider, and adopt the audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, the reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon, and audited consolidated financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, and the report of the auditors thereon. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The second item for your consideration is to declare a final dividend of rupees 1.80 per equity share of the face value of rupees 2 each for the financial year 2024-25. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The third item for your consideration is to appoint a director in place of Shri Riju Jhunjhunwala, DIN number 000-61060, who retires by rotation in terms of Section 152(6) of the Companies Act 2013, and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The fourth item for your consideration is to appoint a director in place of Shri Shekhar Agarwal, DIN 000-66113, who retires by rotation in terms of Section 152(6) of the Companies Act 2013, and being eligible offers himself for reappointment. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The fifth item for your consideration is to consider and approve continuation of Srimati Vinita Singhania, DIN number 000-42983, as non-executive, non-independent director of the company, who will be attaining the age of 75 years in 2026-27. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as a special resolution. The sixth item for your consideration is to approve appointment of Messrs. GSK and Associates, a firm of practicing company secretaries, firm registration number P2014 UP 036000, as the secretarial auditors of the company for a term of 5 consecutive financial years commencing from April 1st, 2025 till March 31st, 2030. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The seventh item for your consideration is to ratify the remuneration of cost auditors for the financial year ending 31st March 2026. The resolution is placed before the meeting to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Members who have not cast their vote through remote e-voting or e-voting during the proceedings of AGM are now requested to vote on the proposed resolutions, resolution numbers 1 to 7 of the notice of the AGM. The e-voting module in the AGM is already active. The icon even number for e-voting is available on the screen, which will redirect you on a separate window to e-voting portal of NSDL. The e-voting facility is active and will be closed after 15 minutes of the conclusion of this meeting. Members may note that the results of remote e-voting shall be downloaded by the scrutinizer, and he would prepare his report on the same. Thereafter, he will club the remote e-voting results with the results of voting at the AGM. The scrutinizer shall submit his report to me and I shall countersign the same. Therefore, thereafter, the combined results would be announced / displayed through the website of the company, www.hegltd.com, and NSDL, www.evoting.nsdl.com, within 2 working days from the conclusion of the meeting, and be intimated to stock exchanges where the securities of the company are listed. Further, a copy of the same shall be placed on the notice board at the registered office and the corporator's office of the company. The combined results will be treated as part of proceedings. Dear members, as advised by the scrutinizers, all members who are participating in the annual general meeting have been given adequate time and opportunity to vote at the AGM, and this concludes the proceedings of today's AGM. However, the e-voting facility will be kept open for next 15 minutes also to enable shareholders to cast their votes. Thank you everyone for participating very actively in this AGM, and stay safe. Thank you.